Welcome to Lifestyle Balance. In this episode, we move from Namibia, Walvis Bay, across toward St. Helena. We use St. Helena as an emergency stop if we need it. And then we move on to Cabedelo, Brazil. Join us on this adventure. We're Lattie and Todd. Welcome aboard. It's time to clean the boat. Namibia has a lot of wind. It was a very windy place and a lot of sand all over the boat. Took us about 2 weeks to get rid of all of this. Anyway, let's start cleaning.
Dinghy is up high, so we get ready to go to the ocean.
Delayed for over a week. Our original weather plan that we wanted was just morphed into stronger winds, so we waited again. So we're 1 week outside our time that we wish to leave. So where are we heading to? Brazil. Timing. In really well. We've had strong winds up to 30 knots, so that anchor is truly deep in the mud. So now we have to drive the boat forward. We've taken all the chain up, so the chain is vertical. Now I'm going to drive forward and break the anchor out and pull it up. So we've gently just driven forward, feeling it as we gently pull it back over itself to trip it out. So now it's free.
Cool.
Mud on the chain. So what we're going to do is give the chain a bit of a shake. We don't use a hose unless we really have to. Simply do that. Shake that chain, shake that mud off, give it a while.
Oh, so we have mud, Todd. Mud. Yeah, just mark it over it. You'll be fine.
We don't want to drag that with us.
That's it.
Home gone. A little seal that lives on the back of our boat. We've had to say goodbye to him. His home is moving, but I'm sure he'll find another home. I'm sure of that. Control, Walvis Bay. This is sailing vessel Gone Surfing. We are departing Walvis Bay. 2 persons on board for St. Helena via St. Helena. Over.
Thank you so much for visiting us. Thank you for boarding. Proceed with caution on board.
Thank you very much, Walvis Bay Port Control. Appreciate that. We'll go to 16. Cheers. Our course is going to be about 290 degrees towards St. Helena Island, out in the middle of the Atlantic. When we get out here, we've got winds, probably 15 knots later today, gusting 20, possibly 25 later on. The sea state will be only about 1.7 meters. Should be a good run. It is going to be an adventure. 3,000 miles of Atlantic Ocean.
Yes.
To a warmer climate. Thank you. little bit too soft in the luff, so I'm just going to tension it out.
I see.
Now watch it go up. There you go, that's looking a lot better. I'm happy with that. Much better. Always good. About 12 o'clock, 1 in the morning, we're going to get lighter winds, so we'll be shaking these reefs out. We'll see what happens.
Now
this is
we
looking
have
pretty good.
now we have 9 knots
We're
speed.
doing 8 knots now, 8.4. Yeah, 8 knots. That's all right. A little bit up and down. We are heading a lot more west. But that's all right. It's quite comfortable. Hey. So it's okay. And it's been a real drifter through the night. I think we averaged about 3 knots. Whoa, it's been slow. But anyway, dawn's here, so we might get winds that are solar affected type winds. May increase during the day, which is the forecast. And we'll be able to get some speed up and keep moving towards St. Helena. But right now, it's a cup of tea time. Well, it's actually day 2 since we've left Walvis Bay. Last night was very soft conditions. We ended up at about 2.2 nautical miles, correction 2.2 knots, and it was soft. The sea state was very calm. Not a lot happening out here. Surprisingly, at about 100 nautical miles off the coast, the seal came and visited us. So there's still a bit of activity and wildlife around. So today what we've got is about 10-12 knots of wind. We've got the big code 0 out and we're moving in the right direction. Last night we had to do a lot more west in order to capture the 3 to 5 knots of breeze that we had, and now we're moving in the right direction about 290 degrees towards St. Helena. So that's our course. Today is good. Downwind, use the mainsail to blanket the code 0 so that it's not loaded up. Then we can fill it up a lot easier. Otherwise you're fighting against the wind and the forces. Here we go, we're taking all the power out of the code 0 and now we'll fill it up. Double reef in the mainsail, bit of heady out. It's only about 18 knots of wind, but we'll still be doing 7.5, 8 knots. So this is a good plan for a night time. You're not over canvassed, and if it does get up in wind speed and conditions deteriorate, we have not much to deal with. We have a small sail plan, very easy to deal with. Okay, so last night, as you saw in the evening, we were putting a reef in the main and filling up the headsail a little bit just to keep everything settled down. We didn't want a lot of overpowered sail up in the night, correction, we'll say that again. We didn't want to be over canvassed in the night if we did get stronger winds. Fortunately we did. We had a situation with the autopilot that shut down. 4:30 AM was the main failure. Lattie ended up on the helm. It looks like it's got something to do with the potentiometer that goes in the rudder follower unit that sends signals back to the main motherboard. So I'm going to have to replace that. Fortunately I do carry one because they do wear out. So all is good. But other than that, it was a bit bumpy last night. A lot of slapping and slamming. Wasn't great. But this morning things have smoothed out and we're getting along at about 8.5 knots, generally in the direction of St. Helena. All is good.
What happened last night? It's about 4 AM. Autopilot failed, and I was on the helm, and I tried to keep it on the wheel. Here, I can keep the boat on the wheel, but it's so dark, I couldn't see anything, and opposite to E. I don't know how can I do that?
You tried anyway, Lattie. You did well. It was a dark night, no horizon, and it was pretty difficult conditions. But we got the autopilot going again, didn't we?
Yes, we do. How's today this morning? To 48 hours now. Yep.
So things are looking pretty good. And we don't have to helm. The autopilot's working. That's a good thing. Out of code 0 of lighter winds. Time to utilise those light winds, keep us moving along. Put it away tonight before the evening comes. Too much sail at night time in case we get hit with winds. That's the plan.
Half moon, beautiful evening. You gonna change?
Yeah, we're going to put out the code 0. We've got light enough winds. It's going to be good. Beautiful day. Oh, you lost your
Can tell you from the sky.
We're going to go for head sail. Okay, so we're going to put the code 0 away and put the head sail out. Okay, are you ready? Good. Check out who my second target was. Turns out to be Cape Columbine, which is a range of 655 nautical miles away. This is on VHF AIS system. That's incredible.
We used to sail early. We try to heading a little bit to northwest, and it's overcast. Today wind has been changed from one direction to another direction and change back again to the same direction and go to another direction, and then we change course 0, change to course 0, change to head sail and mainsail, and then we're gonna die because the wind has changed again. Look, the wind changed and the course 0 flop, 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 flop. Now,
Today we did the classic store high in transit, which we had to go downstairs and unblock the bathroom toilet. It's an old traditional saying that when they loaded cargo onto boats, they abbreviated it to shit. Store high in transit. But I was actually up to my elbows in SHIT fixing a blocked toilet today. Well, it's part of the deal, you know. This is sailing. This is have to do everything on the boat. You have to be a master of many things. And yeah, now we've got a little bit of a frustrating wind pattern, but we are going in the right direction. Other than that, it's been a really good day, especially when I got out of the bathroom. Very good.
Thank you not going into details.
Went all up the walls and everywhere.
I know.
Okay, we're having trouble with the autopilot. It keeps dropping out. But I'm just going to open this up and check the connections. What can happen is that these particular little carbon fittings here that touch onto these plates here, these connectors, they leave a carbon footprint, and then that becomes connected all the time, so it can automatically just go on and off. I've had to clean them before in the past, so I'm going to do it now. Okay, I've just given them a clean, and as you can see, that's the carbon that's come off the pads that connect to these little connection plates. So all that is actually being activated at all times, so we've been having a few issues. So we've cleaned those off, those pads, and we shouldn't have any more carbon residue in between, making the connection a positive connection all the time. Lattie on the helm while I look into the autopilot problem. How you doing there, Lattie? All good? Excellent. Okay, I'll let you know when I'm finished. Hopefully we can find that problem and resolve that issue.
Please check the course.
Check the course for you? You're heading for that big cloud over there? Oh, I think you're pretty good. I think you got, yeah, the sail plan's good. You got the telltales are looking good.
Okay.
Yeah, not much wind, but you're doing good. Excellent. There you go. Lattie on the helm, looking out for danger. Or whales. Or is it dolphins today? No more seals. Okay, I've reconnected the autopilot. I'll screw that in later on. We're just going to turn that on now. We'll go to our autopilot switch on our circuit board. Oh, pilot error 38. That doesn't look good. We've still got a problem. Let's see what we can do. Now we got rid of that, so that's, no, it's coming back. Houston, we have a problem. Okay. Lattie, I'm going to initiate the autopilot. 3, 2, 1. Autopilot on. And holding. Thank you. Well, the good news is that the potentiometer on the rudder follow unit was faulty, but I carry a second one on board at all times. Only a little unit. They cost about $20, but without these, you cannot use an autopilot. So be aware, whatever potentiometer you may have in your rudder follow unit, it's advisable to carry this little $20 potentiometer.
8 September. This morning, it's quiet wind. We use course 0 and the mainsail. 7 p.m. Now we almost get to St. Helena. The sun sets a little bit late from where we start.
Sailing vessel gone surfing, station calling gone surfing, go ahead. Yes, good morning Santolina Radio. This is sailing vessel gone surfing. We're just letting you know that we're sailing past. Are there any weather warnings or anything that we need to be aware of? We will not be calling into St. Helena. But just checking in with you guys, we're approximately 12 miles south of the island at this point in time. Over. I think they're having trouble receiving us.
Maybe delay.
Run with a mainsail only. Beaten up by code 0.
What have you done?
What have we done? Well, we tried to go on wing with the code 0, but the wind and the direction of the swell and the boat yawing around decided that it did not want to play the game, and so we had to wrestle with that code 0 to get it back in. I got a bit beaten up here, but I am surviving. Lattie had a bit of a panic attack, but she did really well and followed instructions, and we got the code 0 contained, and now we're just going to run with possibly a main up, and I'm looking at putting a bit of a head sail out, so let's see what happens.
The wind is just moderate, and we have only head sail on since last night.
What about last night? Well, it was a little bit annoying actually. The winds were fluky, the swell was all over the place, we got slapped and banged and not enough speed. Finally got a sail plan that worked for us. But the most amazing thing that has been happening here is that we haven't seen the sun for, what is it, 7-8 days?
Yes.
And when it does poke its head out for about 5 seconds, we take a video of it and then we play that back to our solar panels to try and gain solar energy.
Oh, so
it doesn't seem to be working for some reason. Maybe we need a longer recording.
Yeah.
Put it on loop or something. I got it. Clouds, clouds, clouds. 360 degrees of clouds. A little bit of blue sky just there. I know it's hard to see, but it is there. And the sun pokes out through that occasionally. But otherwise, have some clouds. We gladly trade clouds for some sunshine.
Good.
I'm going back to sleep now.
Good night.
Good night. The sun. We're going to introduce the solar panels to the sun today. They haven't seen it for that long. It's unbelievable. Anyway, breakfast time. It's a good day. We're just running with it. Need a little bit more wind, but otherwise should be good. We're on course to Brazil.
September, beautiful days, sunshine. Last night we have a good lunch with Cosilo and Menzel.
So what are we doing?
Today we have perfect trade wind.
Trade winds, yes, we have perfect trade winds coming southeast. We're on a slightly north of west heading, and we're going to be below 600 nautical miles by the sunset today, and that's in about 4 hours time, I think. So we've had a really good run. It's been beautiful conditions, no big seas, no strong winds. Sometimes we needed a bit more wind than what we had. Directional wind was a problem, but in general it's been very good. This is Lattie, who slept all the way. Just woke up now that we're nearly there. Good on you, Lattie.
Yes.
Okay, just been down in the engine room and just doing some routine maintenance. I do tend to try and get the most mileage out of the belts on the alternator and the water pump, but I think I might have just kind of stretched that a little bit too far. Definitely time to change these belts as they fall apart. Look at that. Okay, my bad. Time to change these. Morning. Yeah. Food of champions. Well, we're kind of about 80 nautical miles off the coast of Brazil. We are slow today, wind behind us, sea state calm. Not going to be a fast day. Looks like we'll get into Cabedelo at about 9 p.m. tonight local time. Other than that, it's been a very easy run across the Atlantic. Been quite uneventful except for the code 0 blowing out. That was the only major event that we had. It was kind of the only bit of excitement we had. So it's a bit of a book reading thing, a couple of movies, meandering along, downwind, not much else going on. End of vlog. Back to book.
See you later.
See you later. Okay.
We almost there. Tonight we will see the rise from the land.
Well, good morning. We're anchored off the coast of Cabedelo. We got here at 10 p.m. local time last night. We decided, even though it was an ingoing tide, that we'd wait for dawn. We can anchor out here. It's 12 meters of water. It's a little bit lumpy, but waiting for dawn gives us an opportunity to see if there's any fishing nets or any other problems associated with going up the channel around the little island and up into the river to Jacara Marina area, where we can anchor off there or pick up a mooring. So was it a good run? Very, very light winds a lot of the time across the Atlantic. I'm pretty happy with it. It's just been a bit slower than what I anticipated, and in general I think we enjoyed the comfort of it. What about you, Lattie? What did you think?
I sleep a lot.
That was a huge effort by Lattie to put some communication in there. Let's try that again. What about you, Lattie? How did you enjoy it?
It's easy run and it's comfortable. I think it's quite comfortable. It's 21 days. It's gone very fast to me.
Went pretty fast, yeah, I must admit.
Yeah.
Nothing exciting, so to speak. We didn't even see any whales.
I saw it last night, the tails.
One whale.
Two.
Yeah, off the coast of Brazil. Other than that, we're going to now make an effort to, with the tide starting to change, to go up into the river, through the channel, into the river, and anchor off Jacara Marina. So we'll get underway shortly.
I'm in tropical
mode.
We are in, say,
Cabedelo, Brazil.
Brazil.
One thing you got to be aware of when you come to Brazil is that they use the American system for the markers, the channel markers. So port will be green, so you'll have a starboard marker on your port side coming in, and red will be on your starboard side coming in. Reverse it all around. It's where we come from in Australia, New Zealand, it's the other way round. We have red entering on our port side and green on our starboard side entering, and the opposite leaving. So we've had to mix that up. Not too hard to figure out. Two markers, you go between them, a red and a green one.
Okay.
One of the reasons we didn't come in last night, this is a very easy channel to navigate, was we were concerned about bugs, mosquitoes, fishing nets and all those other things that I mentioned earlier, but bugs was really my primary thing. Last thing I wanted to do was end up with a boat full of mosquitoes, so we'll see how we go tonight. We'll be able to net up. Okay, let's keep our eyes on the road. Hey, action. Laddie's been waiting to get to Brazil to eat her chocolate that Toya gave us. She vowed that she wouldn't eat it until she got to Cabedelo, Jacara. So here we are. I don't think it's going to last very long. Brazil and chocolate. We thought that we'd show you this map of our journey so far. It's only taken me 17 years. So we are getting there, slowly but surely, and we do enjoy stopping and immersing ourselves in the culture and other things. We really enjoyed our Atlantic adventures. I hope you did also. If you want to join us again on board, please subscribe. It's free. Come along with us on our next adventure. Have a good day.